I used my cheating wife's messenger to invite her AP affair partner into our home while I was there. Let me start by saying that I never thought I'd be the kind of person to share my personal life on the internet. But after what happened, all of my close friends said I needed to share my experience. I know this story might sound unbelievable, but I swear it's true. Anyway, here it goes. My wife, let's call her Sarah, and I have been married for 8 years. And like any couple, we've had our tough time. I really thought our love could withstand anything, but I never imagined I'd be dealing with infidelity. It all started a couple of months ago when I noticed Sarah acting suspiciously. She'd always been protective of her phone, but suddenly it was like her life depended on it. She'd take it with her everywhere, even to the bathroom, and she'd spend hours texting late into the night, often going to bed after I was already asleep. As much as I didn't want to, couldn't help but let my imagination run wild. I tried to brush it off as just work-related stress, or maybe a new hobby, but deep down, I knew something wasn't right. That's when I decided to investigate. I know snooping is frowned upon, but I needed answers. If our relationship was open and honest, then snooping wouldn't really be a thing, right? So one night, while Sarah was in the shower, I took her phone and started going through her messages. That's when I found the proof. Explicit messages and pictures exchanged with some guy named Mike. My heart sank, and a rage started to build inside me. I wanted to confront her right then and there, but I knew I needed a plan to make sure she couldn't talk her way out of it. I also wanted to beat this Mike guy's ass, but I couldn't just do that without risking jail or something. That's when I came up with the idea of inviting her lover over to our house using her own messenger account. The next day, I signed into her messenger account while she was at work. I knew that evening she was going to the movies with her sister and her kids, so that gave me the perfect opportunity. I logged in and made sure to log out of all other devices so she couldn't see the conversation I was about to have with Mike. I messaged him, pretending to be Sarah, and told him how much I missed him and that I wanted to see him tonight. Seemed more than happy to oblige. I told him my husband would be out for the night and that it would be the perfect opportunity for us to be together. I instructed him to come in through the side door, which I'd leave unlocked, and to undress down to his underwear before entering the bedroom, where I would be waiting to help him with the rest of his clothes. I couldn't help but feel a twisted sense of satisfaction as I hit send. After the conversation was done, I erased all of the messages so Sarah wouldn't be able to trace them back to me. Sure, Mike would have them on his phone, but this was as good a plan as I had, so I had to take some chances. I'll tell you how that turned out later. The stage was all set, and now all I had to do was wait. In the meantime, I decided to look this guy up, and lo and behold, he was married too. Imagine that. I knew I could use that info to my advantage a little later. Fast forward to that evening, I parked my car a few blocks away and snuck back home, making sure to leave the side door unlocked, as I had instructed Mike. I didn't want him seeing my vehicle and getting suspicious. I positioned myself in our bedroom by my desk, hidden in the shadows. I knew I had to act fast once Mike arrived, so I sat there, my heart pounding in anticipation. Finally, I heard the side door open and the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs. I steeled myself, ready to confront the man who had violated my marriage. Mike entered the bedroom, stripped down to his underwear as I had told him to do. That's when I sprang into action. I burst out of the shadows, screaming at the top of my lungs, "What the hell are you doing in my house?" Mike jumped in surprise, panic clear on his face as he tried to cover himself with his hands. I didn't give him a chance to respond or explain himself. Instead, I lunged forward and started beating the crap out of him. He tried to fight back, but I was fueled by rage, and there was no way he could match my intensity. After a few minutes, I stepped back, leaving him battered and bruised on the floor. I pretended not to know who he was or why he was there, yelling at him about breaking into my home and trying to attack me. The whole time, Our home surveillance system was recording everything. At that point, I called the police. When they arrived, I showed them the surveillance footage I captured of Mike entering our home and told them I had no idea who he was or why he was there. They took him into custody, charging him with trespassing and assault. Mike didn't say a word in his defense, probably too shocked and confused to even know what was happening. He also probably didn't want to admit in front of me that he was there to see my wife. LOL. When Sarah got home later that night, I started the conversation casually, asking her how her night was. I let her look around and notice how messed up the bedroom was. She asked me what the hell had happened, and that's when I told her the story of my strange and unexpected night. Her eyes widened in fear as I told her about the half-naked man who had broken into our home. I showed her the surveillance footage and the video of me confronting him. She tried to act surprised and horrified, but I could tell she knew exactly who he was. I could tell she was nervous on the inside, so I asked her if she knew who the intruder was. Based on her reaction, she said she had no idea, but kept glancing back up at the screen and then asked me over and over why that man would be in our home. Again, I told her I had no idea. He just came in through the side door that we usually forget to lock, and then undressed as he came up the stairs. I kept mentioning that it seemed like he knew exactly where our bedroom was, and that he was way too comfortable in our home. Psychological torture was working, and I could see her breaking down. I kept pressing on. I told her his name was Mike, and that after beating the snot out of him, he was taken to jail for trespassing. I also told her that I looked this guy up after the cops left, and that he was married, and I really needed to call his wife and ask her if she knew why he might be coming into our house. That's when Sarah got really nervous and insisted that we probably wouldn't learn anything from that and to just be happy he's not there anymore. Yeah, right. So I pressed on, grabbed my phone, and said, "No way, I need to call her right now." I can't believe it took me this long to think of that. I started clicking around on my phone, looking her up on Facebook, and then I started to send her a message. That's when Sarah finally broke down through tears. She confessed everything: the affair, the lies, and the betrayal. She said she didn't want to involve Mike's wife, and that it would only make things worse. So, of course, I messaged her right away. I sent a message that said, "I just learned why your husband broke into my house tonight. He was coming to see my wife. They're having an affair," and included my phone number. I showed the message to my wife and then told her to pack her things and get out. I informed her that I'd be filing for divorce the next day. She pleaded with me, tears streaming down her face, but I couldn't bring myself to forgive her. My trust in her was shattered beyond repair. The next day I filed for divorce, and I also got a call from Mike's wife. She said that he had deleted all the messages from his phone so she wouldn't see them, but that he had finally confessed to her why he was there. I guess I got lucky there. It was a relief to know there was no direct connection to me. I mean, they could probably logically draw a conclusion at some point, but there was no proof. As for Mike, he's still facing legal repercussions for his actions. With all the lying and deceit, they just never put it together that their plans to meet were orchestrated by me. With his life in shambles, I don't know if he will ever reach out to Sarah or if he'll ever put it all together. I don't know what will happen to him, but honestly, I don't care. The only thing that matters to me now is moving on from this nightmare and starting a new chapter in my life. Anyway, the fun part of the story is over. I'm working on a new life and just thought someone could get some entertainment from what has been a bit of hell for me. Good day. Well, that was a different one. What do you make of this? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Cheating Secrets podcasts.